Hello, my loves. I'm Angel. I'm back with another channeled auto writing. This one's from Archangel Gabriel. This is a general message for the collective, basically on remembrances and soul remembrances. Okay, so let me get started. Okay, I hope you guys like it and resonate with it. If not, please take what you resonate with and leave the rest. Okay. So it says, "Blessings, beloved. Did we not tell you that when you achieved your goal, your eyes would ignite in radiant frequency resonance? The soul is more than the Lyran illumination of soul remembrance. You may give details on the prophecy given. However, this is all we are willing to allow as this must be achieved through the inner work." Okay, so let me just mark that. Okay. So what we're talking about is, I guess basically like a year ago, I had to do a channel auto writing, and they said that once I completed merge, that my eyes would ignite. I have no idea what that meant or what was supposed to happen, and I was kind of like, I was a little bit tipsy. Okay, let's just get out in the open. I was a little bit tipsy, and my friend was driving me to go see my partner because my car was in the shop and everything, and well, I went to see my partner and everything. I was like, well, we merged. I mean, well, so I thought we merged, right? But that wasn't the true partner, right? So I was like, nothing happened. Like, what are you guys talking about? Nothing happened. They said that I would know when my eyes ignited, okay? So I'm not trying to say that, like, this is set in stone or anything, because how do we truly know? But in my experience is, I have Lyran experiences in my meditations, as well as, like, lioness and lion experiences, right? My counterpart is the male, and I am the female. But most of the time it's whenever I am walking up to him in the lioness state that my eyes will ignite at its entirety. Okay, not at its entirety, but let's just compare it to like holding a lamp from the inside of my eyes out, and only the pupil stays dark, and the outside iris is the one that gets illuminated in gold or whatever, in light. Okay, let's just say that. It's like that, and other remembrances of, like, past life interactions, different, like, hunting, stalking, stuff like that is whenever I remember it the most, okay? But the brightest is whenever I approach my counterpart, okay? So it is what it is. You guys take what resonates. You guys can think I'm batshit crazy. It is what it is. I'm just telling you the experience because that's all I can give to you right now. Okay, so there's that, okay? So it says, "Now we ensure that the collective is in time through frequency induction. Angel, we already gave you an upgrade this morning. Why are you resisting the flow? Let go and write freely." Okay, yeah. I was thinking, okay? I was thinking at that point. I was thinking about what somebody said about being, trying to simplify it. So I was kind of going against the grain on that. So and they're not done there, okay? It says, "Angel, loosen the pen and stop thinking, or we can close the message out until you're more prepared to accept the message." You know what I mean? I was like, okay. Give me a second. Hold on. Okay, so it says, "You do not need to worry. Those who are meant to understand will. Okay, breathe." And then they give me a second. I'm like, okay. I'm sitting there with a pen. I'm like, I breathe a couple times. I was like, all right, I'm ready. It says, "Okay, see what's so hard about letting God do the work. Now for the message to continue. We are not here to reform anyone in their religious views. This is a message to show divine guidance and obedience." And I'm just like, yeah, thanks. Yeah, okay, I'm being obedient, okay? Here we go. Let's go. So it's the frequency upgrades are different for each soul. For each soul had different experiences each life. Some affected the continuum of their frequency in a negative aspect. Some affected them in a positive aspect. Some were interrupted and had to be required for another calibration, so to speak. When we have the recalibration, it is much like starting over from the ascension spike of incarnation, or the ultimate ascension spike frequency before death. Considering, for example, our beloved angel died at 15 years old. She didn't achieve her set goal for incarnation, so she returned to the original frequency at birth, which was the purest, unaffected state. Please keep in mind that free will interrupted this in a negative aspect by darkness. This was not an agreed intake of the incarnation. It was interruption. Do you understand? Angel asked just now if she had more lives that she doesn't remember since then. And he laughs, and he says, "Dear beloved, can you truly pinpoint what designated time each of your past life remembrances are outside of the earthly realm?" And he pauses for a second. He's like, continuing the message, remembering the past lives on earth is a blessing or an obstruction to be observed or released. This is where the meditation and frequency induction of yourself and others can come into play. Say, for example, you have a fully developed and upgraded ascended master of energetic frequency. Are you listening, collective? Question mark, question mark. And say he or she has merged with her or his counterpart or embodied their full internal capacities to where his, her, or their frequency is annulling other traumas and thoughts and entanglements by purely existing in the earthly realm alone. That's a whole mindfuck. Anyways, and say others have no awareness of what's happening in energetic and electromagnetic frequencies. Are they still being healed? And actually that is a yes. Let's say they stumble onto a tripwire of ascended frequencies and are either inspired, intrigued, or shaken to awake to the frequency. The mere conscious effort to do the inner work, which increases their frequency at a more rapid rate than just the essence of divine frequency in a more subtle aspect. This will help them with healing and release, recalibration, whether or not it be induced or consciously released from observing a past life experience, basically in meditation, or stumbling on it in a way that it comes to you. You have to observe it, release it, and like consciously release it and say, I release it, or how you say, try to heal it with your light, okay? It says, I lost my spot. Okay, consciously from observing a past life experience that had a negative, releasing a past life experience that had a negative impact on their synthesis to this day. So basically, if you haven't released a trauma or a wound that happened many past lives ago, it's still going to have impact on your resonance and your synthesis, your frequency, the way you radiate out your waves. All of this in a different aspect. You have to release that to heighten your frequency to where you can actually ascend and go further and further in past lives. Understand? Hopefully you guys understand, okay? Subconscious affects the conscious awareness of each individual on any plane, in any aspect. Do you understand, collective? This isn't a game. The darkness will think that they have an advantage and things they try to impact, control, or rewire is successful. This is irreversible, keeping them in the same calibration because they have not taken action to raise the frequency in a higher aspect, which keeps them in the loop, a non-building fragment to be scattered in total disharmony from the beacon that calls the others of working in their light to come into unison to build and form. The light essence inside each individual is the key to unlocking everything. This is the message for the collective for today. That will be all for them. The last thing is one and only statement of ascension. The sun shines in all its glory on the secret gardens of the heart. May the lilies grow in luminescence of divine light with the blue luminescent and silver glow. And may all the divine channels reap what they sow. Be blessed, my beloved angel in love, Archangel Gabriel, closing. Okay, so as far as the lilies go, he's talking about the lilies that I see, and it's not, they have more petals than a normal lily here on earth. But whenever I would pass by them in meditation, they open up, and it's like they're white petals, but they're blue. They glow blue, and the outside of the petals have a silver, outline. And that's what he's talking about. But that's all in meditation, you guys. You please explore your mind in meditation. It's a crazy, beautiful place that, the things we can do with our mind is just amazing. And so if this is a message for you guys, I hope you guys liked it and resonate with it, you guys. It's not going to be for everybody, so please just take that in mind. Keep that in mind. You guys are loved. Mwah. I hope you have a great day. I love you, I love you, I love you. Bye.